her, I guess, selling point, if you will, was, oh, we have Denzel Nash on our team from UTEP. And I was like,
just wanna hear you say, tell me are you down, baby, say you with it. Tryna touch down, gotta play to get it. Stacking up my chips, dipping through the city. When I'm gone missing, know I'm on a mission. Tell me are you down, baby. Tell me are you down, baby. Tell me are you down, baby.
What's up, guys?
I'm Lex.
And I'm Nash, and today's video is going to be about how we met each other.
Before we get into this video, make sure that you subscribe and you like our channel so that you do not forget at the end. All right, so the first portion of it is before she knew of me, or I knew of her, basically. But I had gone to one of the local rec centers because my dad was reffing at the time, and I was just going just to go. And I had mentioned something about when I used to play basketball when I was little or something like that. And somebody that was sitting close to us had heard the conversation between my mom and myself and was like, oh, you play basketball? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you want to join our City League team? And the first thought was, just because I say I play don't mean that I can play. But I mean, I could, but I was just kind of like, you're just going to ask somebody random. But I was like, I mean, I guess. And at the time I had been thinking about joining the team again, and but I hadn't, because I was involved a lot with certain things. The league is on Sundays, which I go to church. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So her, I guess, selling point, if you will, was, oh, we have Denzel Nash on our team from UTEP. And I was like, didn't click. My mom was like, oh, I know who that is. And I was like, I would maybe have to see who she is to know who she is. And my mom's like, we've been to a bunch of UTEP games. You know who she is. You know who she is. And I was like, clueless. Mind you, I knew who Kayla Thornton was, maybe about 4 other her teammates, but that name just did not click. So she Googled her. And when she Googled her and she showed me a picture, still, she showed me probably like 6-7 pictures. And I was like, nope. And my mom was like, yeah, she's the one that goes all the way to the basket and she's like all over the place. And I was like, nope, I don't know who you're talking about. So basically I just was like, either way, I've been wanting to get back into it, so I'll join. Not because Denzel Nash was a part of it, but because I wanted to play. Don't look like that. So anyways, so she was like, oh, well, we're already mid-season. And she was like, but if you join now, you should have enough games to be able to make playoffs with us. So ironically, at the time, I was headed to Houston. And so I told her, I was like, I don't know, because I'm...
H-Town, hold it down.
I had told her that I was gonna leave town and I didn't know if I was gonna end up getting enough games in. So she found out that I only needed, I think, 4. And
it's only 9, so
yeah. So I needed 4 games to be able to join, which the 5th one was the week that I was gonna be in Houston. So I was like, well, perfect, I'll get exactly enough games to play. So she got my information, she sent it to the coach, and then the coach texted me and was like, give me your, date of birth, all that good fun stuff. So he got me in. So I left to Houston. I came back the following week, March the 3rd of 2018. And I went to the first game. Now, we went out to the court and we started shooting. Well, as we're shooting, in comes Nash. And
I wasn't there before you?
No.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Oh, okay.
So this is why. So at this point, she walks in and I was trying to figure out if that was her or not, because of course the picture's on the internet versus her in person. So I figured out it was her.
And so when I walked in the gym, I think my teammate had told me we had a new girl coming, and I did not know. So when I walked in and I saw her, and I'm like, I started shooting on the other side. I didn't know. I was just shooting on, I don't know what side of the court we were supposed to be on. I just went, I got a ball and I started shooting. I see her, but I'm like, I don't know what she looked, just like she didn't know she kind of knew who I was because of the pictures, but I did not know of her really. So when the other team started coming then I went down to the other side and was shooting with her, and I was like, oh, that's the new girl on my team. I mean, I just remember shooting, and I think I passed her the ball a couple times. She passed me the ball, but we did not even still meet. Like, I don't.
We didn't talk or nothing. It probably wasn't until, I think, the second game.
Well, we talked.
I mean, as teammates should. That was basically our introduction, if you will. Again, we knew each other's names because we were on the same team, but it's not like I was like, oh, hi, I'm Alexis, and she was like, oh, I'm Nash. We never really...
No, we just played, and we won.
So this is actually a very important part of all of this. So when she first walked in on day one, I thought she was a stud. Now, see, that's the face I knew was coming. But for those of you guys that don't know what that is, I would technically be called a stud. That would be somebody that is masculine, but knows that they are still female, doesn't try to perceive or come off as I'm a male or anything like that. This is why. Now, don't get me wrong.
Reason.
I don't feel like studs should, but to each their own. She had weave, but everything else about her was not feminine. And when I say that, I mean like her shorts were like past the knees, like low. She had like a baggy shirt on, like
a basketball player.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not tripping.
But okay,
I'm not
and to throw this out too. And now when I play basketball, my shorts are rolled up 50 times because she said that I look like a stud. My shorts are like flipped up. You almost it's not.
Look, At the
end of the day, I look like a basketball player.
She just looked
like
very.
I had my curly hair. I had the crochet in with the. I think I had black with the red at the end. I had my crochet.
Look, okay, at the end of the day,
my arms wasn't even out.
We complete our, yes, they were.
Okay, maybe that's why she thought I was a stud, because my arms.
So we could try to plead our case all day, but at the end of the day, that is what I thought initially, okay? Initially.
Trash.
So fast forward to a couple weeks later, she had mentioned that she wanted to get us jerseys because at the time, like all the other teams had like their logo on the front. Ours were just like the reversible pennies, like that you normally would get, that has two different colors and then the number on the back. That was it. And so she had said like, I wanted to get us some jerseys, like legit jerseys. And I had mentioned like, oh, I know a guy. So I was like, I'm pretty sure we could get a good deal. She was like, okay. So that's when we exchanged numbers. That was, I think, week 2 or week 3 that we had played. At the time, my little sister Liz, if you're seeing this, Liz, shout out to you, miss you. But she was with me like all the time. We went to this place to go see about the jerseys. So we were already there, and I was waiting on the guy to be done with the client so that we could go in there. And she was running a little late. Elizabeth already knew about her. I had told her because she asked, like, Elizabeth knew everything. Elizabeth knew who we were going with, where we were going, how long. She knew everything. So she was like, so she walks in. And I asked Elizabeth after, and she even was like, this ain't the person you described. And so she walks in, and I was like, she swears to this day that this is not what she was wearing, but I put it on everything. I would not forget this. She had on some sandals, like an olive green dress. So we'll put that right here. This is what she had on right here. Okay. So she had that on, and I was like, this ain't the same person that I saw at the gym. Now, again,
outside of the gym, basketball,
yes,
regular day, regular.
But again, she could have been someone that does both. So at this point, I still don't know. I still was trying to figure it out my dang self. I was confused. Liz was confused. And I just was like, okay, it is what it is. We go in there. He tells us, everything. At this time, I put this swear on everything. I did not know that she was engaged and also had a child. They had not been to the gym yet. So we finished, and when we finished, she's like, hey, we should go play some pickup. one day. And I was like, okay, like where? And she's like, Don Haskins Rec. Now, I live on the far east side of town. She lived on the west side. And so that was like a 40 to 45 minute drive, okay? To go play pickup. And of course, I said yes to drive 45 minutes. I probably would have never said yes to nobody else because I'm not about to go out my way to go when there's a rec center down the dang street, which again, Liz was with me. And at this time, Elizabeth knows everything. She knew that I was interested. But again, I'm not the type. I didn't know what was her situation yet. And I'm not about to, and the other thing too is that
45 minutes to figure out.
Okay, look.
Oh shoot.
I'm not the type to approach people unless I am, one, if I know their full situation, and two, if I know that they're interested. If I'm interested, I may hit them like, hey, like, you know, on a friend type thing. But I'm not gonna be like flirtatious right off bat. I'm just not that person. I'm kind of laid back, kind of observant kind of person. So yeah, so we go to the rec center, we play then too. That's when we kind of started hanging out a little bit more. I would hit her up to go play at the gym. So I work currently at Soto Gym, which is a gym here in El Paso, well, technically on Fort Bliss. And so I had invited her a couple times to come there. From there is when we started hanging out a little bit more. And then we had a tournament, which is like a big deal in Texas. It's a Texas tournament for women's basketball. Mm-hmm. And that was probably about a month after I had joined the team. We ended up winning the entire thing. She got MVP. I got all tournament to turn around and end up losing in the finals to a team that we beat in the tournament in the regular season, which was super frustrating. At some point down the line, I had asked her to join me in coaching because I had been coaching a high school boys team. So I had asked her like, hey, you want to come out? You want to see what it's like? And she had never coached before.
I never coached before, but I worked with kids before. I was training the little kids. I did stuff like that before, but I never like had a position in coaching. I was just going to go. I was not going to join. I was just going to go see and check it out. First of all, I was boys.
Going to go see who?
The team. So initially, it was the team. But then I went to the first practice. So I went inside and I watched them and I was like, oh, this is first practice I went to. I think the middle school was on the other side. So it's like,
so I technically had two teams. I had a high school team. Well, I guess you would say, varsity versus a freshman team, or that's basically what it was. JV versus a freshman. Because I had like ages ranging from 13 to 17, I think, which was split into two teams. And so I had like 30 boys at one point.
That was the first practice. I walked in and it's like all these kids and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is real. Cause you know, somebody tell you to come and I'm like, I'm gonna go. And then I'm like, this is the real deal. Like they are in here practicing. They got on this, like they're on the court. Like it was real. And I think I was probably late. No, I was early. I was early because y'all were doing it. That wasn't when you were shooting.
You were late. You were late, and the reason why I know you were late is because you couldn't get a hold of me. You couldn't
I was on time, but I did not know where to go. So that cut off. That messed up like 3 minutes because I didn't know how to get inside. So I should have been earlier.
And mind you,
been there earlier, and then I would have been able to know where to go. So I stood back. I don't even think I said a word this day. Like I just watched. I mean, I was like, okay, like I can do it. I know I could do it. At the end of the day, I've been playing basketball my whole life. Like just knowing basketball, I could coach those kids, and I wasn't on the bench. So, and like I didn't know what's going on the court.
Still don't remember her, by the way.
That's fine. Just you. You're the only person that don't remember.
I still don't remember her.
I don't know how. I run into random people. They be scaring the heck out of me sometimes. Like, oh, I know you. I'm like, oh.
There's nothing. I'm not taking her fame in El Paso away. I just do not remember her. So ironically,
she clearly wasn't paying attention to the right people. So, and I was on the court. This is the other crazy part. Like, It wasn't like I was on the bench and it was like, that one right there, I played a lot. So I don't know what she was paying attention to at the games. Anyway, her dad was like rushing her or whatever. So she had to leave. We didn't get to say anything, but I think she even texted me like when we had practice the next time or whatever. And I was like, I'll go. But at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna engage and I'm gonna talk to the kids. I'm gonna introduce myself. I think did you introduce me?
I just said it was Nash. I didn't necessarily say.
I bet half of the kids knew I was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We would have to ask him. I'm not a hater.
Did T know who I was?
She didn't mention. Nobody mentioned knowing who she was. They were all, just like any other kids, excited that she had played for UTEP. But none of them had said, oh yeah, I went to go see you play. I mean, this is the other thing too, is that they were 13, 15, they're boys. And then not just that, but when she was playing at that time, because this was in 2018, she had stopped playing 2 years prior to that. So some of them were 11. I mean, honestly, I went to a lot of the games because I knew a couple of the people on the team, or I got free tickets because of UTEP. It was something to do. I didn't really even though I'm here and I'm from here, I wasn't like I barely went to my first UTEP football game with her last year. Yeah. So I'm like, it's not like I was just out there knowing everybody. I know a couple people.
It's okay. She didn't know me. That's fine. It's still crazy that she didn't, but she didn't. It's
part of our story. I'm not with her because of who she is.
That's fine. That was the first practice. After that, it wasn't as many. I don't know what happened. I think, they split the teams up. You only had the varsity team.
Talk about that.
Okay.
Sore subjects.
At this point, I think they had a couple more practices that I went to, and I mean, I was there. I think I talked to the kids more. We was talking. I was coaching them a little bit. I still was inching in there because I didn't know them, and then I'm a girl. Don't get me wrong, she's a girl too, but I'm a little bit more of a girl, girlier than her.
Yeah, they were a little too interested in her.
These boys, that's another reason why I was like, nope. Anywho, probably by the second or third practice, I think I started liking her a little bit.
Is that the honest truth?
Yeah, I'm remembering because clearly I had my dates wrong for
she had amnesia until right now.
No, I did not. I had my dates all the way backwards. I don't know how I had it so backwards, but around this time is when I started liking her, and I was like, okay.
What am I feeling?
I mean, yeah, because before this, I'd never been with a girl before, so I was exactly that. I was like, I like her, but she a girl. I was like, but yeah. I mean, and then at this point, we just started. I mean, we had more games, our team. We was coaching together.
We were around each other a lot.
We still was going to the rec, no? Mm-hmm. We were
I think we probably out of the week, maybe 2 days. 2 days we weren't.
At all.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, as I said before, I was interested way before she was.
To rewind, when I went into the place to get the shirts, when we was trying to get the shirts.
Oh, here we go.
I had on something totally different. I did not have on no dress. She clearly tripping. Green. I had this hunter green shirt that said Tipsy on it, and it was a little half shirt. And I think I had on some jeans and some white shoes. She said I had on something totally different.
So this is the thing.
I did have white shoes.
So this is the thing. No, I said you had sandals on. So this is the thing, guys. Okay? Who are you going to believe? Her or me?
Me.
When I was interested that day. Why would I forget that?
Because it was just clothes.
You remember what I was wearing when you were interested in me the first time. I don't even remember what I was wearing. I remember the day. I remember going, but I don't remember exactly what I was wearing. And I remember what she was wearing that day too. My memory is a whole lot better than hers.
Yeah, I can agree.
Okay,
I just remember that day too.
I was interested in her before she was interested in me.
Yeah.
I mean, which is understandable because I was interested in women before she was. So
yeah, you was
it makes more sense
at that point.
I mean, hey, and look at me now. But yeah, so she came to my graduation, that was the reason why I first said, is that what we're coming up with now? Is because when she came to my graduation, that was her initial, that's when I liked you. That was her initial time.
I guess that's when I liked you a lot. Boom. Cause I remember that day, and it was my first time seeing her outside of like basketball clothes or like t-shirts and stuff like that.
That she remembers.
That I remember.
She went to my graduation, which was her initial I liked you. Then it turned into Carlos and Mickey's, which was 2 days before that. And now it's, what is it?
A couple practices. I don't know.
So that's why I don't know what's the truth and what's not.
It was early. I had my days messed up at the end of the day.
It was earlier than what she was trying to admit. That's the point. Is that what she was trying?
I really did not know it.
At the time? But you remember what she was wearing that day, right?
I remember that day.
All right, thank you for watching our video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bells because we will be back on here. I know it has been a long time.
I know.
Which we will make another video to explain why it has been so long. We do have reasons why we weren't on here, but we will be sure that we get back on here and we start doing them more often. Please make sure that if you have multiple channels, that you subscribe on multiple channels. If you have a friend or a mom or a sister or a cousin that has a YouTube channel, make sure that they subscribe. We are on this track that we want to go back to getting 1,000 subscribers. So please make sure that you share our stuff. We will have a lot more content coming. Thanks.